This is a 10-minute mobility routine that you can go through in the morning, in the evening, before bed, after work, before training, whatever time of day it is. This is an easy way to be able to squeeze that mobility in. That's going to benefit your training, just help you with your recovery and all of that good stuff. It might be slightly over 10 minutes, but it'll be close enough. All we need is a mat or some space on the floor, and if you can, try find something, if you're doing it in your bedroom, something just to either put your hands on. It could be a bed, it could be a chair, anything with a bit of elevation. We're just going to go through a prayer stretch, and if you do lack that bit of hamstring mobility, it's just going to help as an extra bit of support. So find your space, let's get straight into it. So we're going to start off in this runner's lunge stretch. So start off by bringing your foot to the outside of your hands and then drive that back leg up off the floor. If you can't lift that back leg up, that's okay, you can keep it on the floor. We're going to stay here for roughly 1.5 minutes. So just move about, stay nice and active. If you want, bring your elbows right down to the ground, rock back and forth. If you want also, you can drive that knee outwards. So again, you're just spending a bit of time here, rocking side to side, doing some circles with your hips, whatever feels best. If you're getting ready for bed, maybe we're just holding this stretch nice and passively. If this is the morning time for you, or if you're getting ready to train, make it a bit more active, moving about. From here, you're going to bring your bring your foot into the center of your hands. So foot comes to the center of your hands. Then from there, you're going to externally rotate your hip, drop your knee right down to the ground. So just play around with that, getting some movement here. So if this is your range of motion, that's completely fine. Just work with whatever you got. If you got a bit deeper, try push it a bit, really open that hip joint up. Let's go for one more big rep here. Then we're going to come down into that pigeon stretch. So from here, leg all the way on the ground. If you have to, just come into that 90-90 pigeon. So calf parallel with your quad. If not, we can come into that full pigeon. So again, we're going to hold this for another 1.5 minutes. So same as our runner's lunge, rock side to side. Try stay nice and active. What we're really looking for with these stretches is to find an area that feels tight. Once you feel that tightness, that means we have tension on the muscle. Spend a second there, just gently rocking side to side. Just trying to loosen that area up. Again, try to explore, find new ranges. Ideally, we're not just sitting here. We really want to keep tension on our glutes in this case. We're making sure as well to keep our breathing, so in through our nose, exhaling out through our mouth. Good. So we're going to spend another 20 seconds here. So really getting the most out of it now, coming from side to side. Also, if this does hurt your knee, I do recommend coming into that 90-90, or if you have to, you can just bring your lower leg in a small bit more. So the last few seconds here. Then from there, I'm going to switch over to that opposite leg. So back into that runner's lunge. Take your time, switching over. So from here, foot comes to the outside of your hands. Then again, we're going to drive that back leg up off the floor if we can. If not, it's okay. Again, you're staying active, so rocking side to side, getting those little stretches in. Again, for me, this feels good here to push my knee out, get that twist, feels good for my lower back. So there's never really a right or wrong way to do a lot of these stretches. We're just going off what feels best. So spending time here again. If you want, elbows down, Getting that movement, rocking back and forth. Another 15 seconds here. We're going to start bringing your foot back into the center of your hands again. And we're going to start externally rotating that hip out again. So dropping your knee to the floor as much as we can. Come back up. With each rep, you should be starting to be able to get a small bit deeper into it. Again, not pushing through pain, but we're trying not to be too comfortable in this stretch either. So last 10 seconds here, and we're gonna go back into that pigeon stretch. So from here, leg comes all the way down to the floor. Again, if we have to, come into that 90-90, calf parallel with your quad. If not, come into that full pigeon. Shift those hips, there we go. Again, we're just holding this stretch. This feels really good for my lower back personally. Again, I'm finding that tight area for me. It's right here on the edge of my hip, and then I'm just holding it and I'm just moving up and down, moving about, just seeing what feels best. Making sure to breathe with each exhale. Try to sink your chest a bit deeper into the ground. Another 30 seconds here, half a minute. Okay, so get that last 10 seconds. I'm going to start slowly coming up out of this pigeon here. At any time during these stretches, if you want to pause the video and hold them for a bit longer, that's completely fine. So from here, we're going to start stretching out our hamstrings. So we're actually going to stand up and we're going to work through some elephant walks. So this is where having that bit of height comes in handy. So if you don't have the flexibility through your hamstrings, we can use that elevation. So from here, push those hips right back. You should already feel that stretch to your hamstrings. And then we're gonna bend one knee and straighten the other. So one leg is straightened, one leg is bent. Both feet are completely flat on the floor. As you straighten one leg, really shift your body weight into that straight leg, squeeze your quad. You should feel that stretch all down the back of our hamstrings. Should be really good for your lower back as well, with that rounded spine. Again, we can hold the leg straight for 2 to 3 seconds. Hold it for a bit longer if you want. If you want, you can get into a bit of a flow. I like to take my hands up off the ground. I like to put them behind my head, really stretch my spine out. But again, I'm still shifting my body weight into the side where I have my leg straight. I'm really feeling that stretch behind my knees, in my hamstrings. Yeah, really good. If you're working on your Jefferson curls, these are going to be really big. If you have knee pain, these are also going to be really good. They're just overall the best hamstring stretch out there. Especially that it requires no weight as well, so it's an absolute no-brainer for loosening up the back of our knees, all those ligaments, tendons, muscles. We're going to hold this another 15 seconds here. So last bit. Again, you should feel like your hamstrings are loosening up towards the end of this. You have to get your hands a bit closer to the ground. Again, it's completely fine. If you have to use something to elevate your hands, whatever feels best, you can still get
as good of a stretch with your hands elevated. Right, so slowly coming up out of this. So nice and slowly up. Ooh, stretch it out, shake it out. Right, from here, we're going to come into our standing pancake. So we're going to take a wide stance. Think about both of our feet facing forward, and you're going to be actively driving through your big toe here. It's going to really stretch all our inner thighs, our adductors. Really good stretch overall. So similar to our elephant walks in the fact that we're hinged over, but it's going to be a bit more static, and we're going to be moving with our hips rather than our knees. So from here, again, another 1.5 minutes. So legs are opened up nice and wide. From there, start pushing those hips back, almost as if you're going for a Romanian deadlift. You're hinging, then find that spot. Again, we can use the height for our hands if we need. Ease into it at the start. Again, moving side to side. Find that tight spot. Stay in it for a sec. Then, again, you're driving through your big toes. I like to take my hands off the ground then, cross my arms. Just hang heavy, rock side to side, adding those little pulses in. This one does get pretty tough, so at any stage, if it is too tough, you can just bend your knees, use your hands to take that load off the stretch, only for a couple of seconds. Try go back into it, so only holding it for 90 seconds, so it's not that long. Again, making sure to keep that breath going, so big deep breaths into our nose, nice long exhales. Ooh, I'm pretty tight here, if you couldn't tell. This is one of my weak links. The last 15 seconds here. Okay, start slowly from here, coming into that deep squat. So you're coming into your deep squat, driving those elbows into your knees. If you really struggle with your deep squat and you can't come all the way down, just as far as you can, try drive those elbows into your knees. If that is too tough, just try hold here. Again, if you have to, find somewhere to put your hands onto, just for that extra bit of support, to take that bit of weight off our legs, just so we can really try open those hips up. So again, we're gonna go for a minute here, just rocking side to side. Again, with these, we can just keep in that deep squat, but you can also add some movement in. So yeah, rocking side to side, lean over onto one ankle at a time. Feel that stretch, dorsiflexion through your ankle. Then from there, you can just start lifting those hips up. You should feel that stretch in your hamstrings if you want to come into that complete forward fold. Again, this is whatever feels best kind of movement. Again, drive those hips up. Really try to round your spine. Alright, so let's spend a few seconds now in that forward fold. So trying to touch the floor or as close as you can. Really try to round your spine. Arms crossed. We're rocking side to side. You should feel that stretch all down through your spine. Good, we're gonna go for another 15 seconds here, so last. Bit of a stretch for our lower body. We're gonna finish on an upper body stretch. Bit of an easier one. Good, then from there slowly coming down, back onto the floor. Again, this is where having that box or your bed or a chair, anything can come into use. If you have none of those, a wall will do. Just place your hands on the wall and push your head through. So if you're using a wall, it might look like this. If you have something, we're gonna come into that prayer stretch. So elbows on the ground, and you're gonna drive your head in between your arms, like so. So again, start off just holding. You don't have to put too much pressure. For most guys, this is going to be pretty tight on your lats, your chest. I'm going to spend just under 2 minutes now here. And really let your head drop right down to the floor. Stretch your neck out. Again, see if you can kind of shift your body weight onto one arm at a time. Try your best not to fall asleep in this one. So gonna hold here for another 30 to 45 seconds. At any stage, if you have to lift up for a sec, that's okay. But trying to get straight back down into it. Again, really let your head hang right down. Okay, last 15 seconds here. So slowly starting to ease off that stretch. From there, slowly bring yourself back up. Don't know about you, but my lats, triceps are tingling. Shake it out. Probably slightly over 10 minutes, but that's good. Again, with a lot of this stuff, especially if it's your first time doing it, you're going to be trying to get familiar with some of the movements, so maybe you couldn't really get into a flow with the routine, but do it a couple times, you'll be able to get familiar with the flow of the routine. Before you know it, you're going to be able to smash it out in 10, 12 minutes. Do it before bed, do it as soon as you wake up. You can do it both, do it during the day. There's no bad time to do some of your mobility. 10 minutes a day, no excuses. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe.